We have always been fascinated by stuff which is old. However, not all old things qualify to deserve our special attention. It is something in them that makes them a thing to be treasured forever. For example, the lost writings, texts and paintings of our great ancestors are something that we seek to preserve till infinity. They hold immense significance as they are a part of history, and most importantly, they are our achievements of historical significance, the way we as humans developed. Motor vehicles similarly have a universal appeal. There is no doubt about the fact that we all dig fast cars and cars that are majestically magnificent. The latest and the fastest cars are on everyone's dream list. But what about the vintage cars? Why are they known so, and what is the charm that captivates us? One answer could possibly be, like all historical things of significance, classic cars are also a part of our developmental history. A history which records the time when man learned to transmit power to the wheels, enabling humans to cover distances faster and easier. This may seem to be a very lame reason, a solid reason notwithstanding. Historians may have that charm, but what about the general masses? Why do we have such a fetish for classic and/or vintage cars? Vintage cars are often the ones that have been the first model of a particular brand. It is the key to the inception of the motor brand and further modifications that led to a revolution of sorts in vehicle production. A vintage classic car can also be the first car to win a major race or rally. Different people have classifications of vintage cars, but undoubtedly, old cars hold our attention immediately. Perhaps, it is the princely appeal that works for most vintage car collectors. There was a time when India was the world's largest storehouse of vintage cars. Its Maharajas and erstwhile rulers would import custom-made cars which ultimately became a symbol of royalty. The regal features of such cars even hold the same attention that they did when they were brought out even a century ago. Classic car collectors have treasured this for long. They are like hunting dogs which can sniff a classic car from miles away. They have detailed research and funding to bring the cars and add to their collection. There is a subtle difference between a vintage and a classic model. While the term vintage refers to the period of the car revolution in the late 1910s till early 1940s, the term classic can also refer to a particular model of a car brand that became a cult favorite with the people. Colloquially, though sometimes vintage cars are called classics. For example, one popular Italian supercar manufacturer's first model could well be considered as a classic, but definitely not a vintage. Vintage covers mostly the British and American cars that were built around the era mentioned previously. They are an object of desire and for treasuring. For more information, log on to our website today.